What happens to the grifters out there once the truth is, undeniable? Once the evidence is overwhelming. Like, what happens to the debunkers? To the Mick Wests out there of the world, and Thunderfool or Thunderfoot or whatever his name is on YouTube. Like, what happens to these people? These people that, basically make a living off, coming up with phony, bogus, excuses for UFOs. Like, what happens to those people? I guess when it happens, hopefully it happens within their lifetimes. I'd love to see that. Oh, boy, would I love to see that. Because it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Are they going to have to, basically spend the rest of their lives trying to debunk Bigfoot sightings and Nessie? Is that what it's going to be? It's going to be interesting to find out. These people are clowns. They're just clowns. I would expect someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's, I think, he's a good guy. I think he's completely off base with his opinions on UFOs and extraterrestrials. He's obviously not ever read a book on this subject. I would expect someone like him, to come out and say, hey, I was wrong. Because guess what? He is wrong. The debunkers are wrong. You know how I know this? I know it for a fact because I've seen one of these craft. I've seen one of them with my own eyes. So, although some people out there, they're not sure. That's fine. You're not sure. You're on the fence about this. You don't know what to think. You don't know what's real and what's not real. That's because for years, our United States government, other governments of the world, this is the best kept secret. This is, above top secret. They have some information on this that would, shed some light, but they don't share it. They cover it up. There's no question about this. But there are people out there, obviously. Look at Thunderfool's YouTube channel. This guy, he's trying to debunk. He makes these ridiculous videos. He's basically like a comedian. He sounds like an extra, like one of the he sounds like a henchman. His accent sounds like the henchman in a made for TV movie about Robin Hood or something. Total clown. Mick West, this guy's just a goofball. Total goof. Absolute goof, just total grift. I saw his Twitter feed here this evening, and this clown, he's trying to figure out how to debunk the Ariel School Zimbabwe 1994 UFO sighting, which, there was over 60 school kids that saw a UFO land and an alien come out and basically communicate with them telepathically. It was featured in a documentary last year, one segment in the documentary called The Phenomenon, made by James Fox. So now this Mick West, he needs to try to figure out a way to say they're a bunch of liars. Let me tell you something. That guy's a liar. He's a clown. Don't listen to a word he said. It's just a total grift. That's how some people are making a living, by debunking UFOs. There are people out there. Let me tell you, that do not want this to be real. They go to bed at night shaking in their boots. They don't want. They need to know. They need someone to tell them. In an authoritative voice. That this is. There's nothing to it. Don't worry about it. It's all fake. It's all phony. I'm telling you, it ain't phony, folks. I seen one of these things, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's real. It's real. And when you see one, you know there's something going on. And it wasn't no government craft. We don't have technology like what I saw. Believe me. And there's a faction in the government that knows this. There's a faction that knows this. So, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, this lid's going to come off at some point. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm tired of waiting. I've been wanting more information on what's going on here. I mean, there's obviously something coming here. There's no question about it. There's no question. It's true. You know, whatever those grifters tell you, believe me, they're lying. How can you tell they're lying? Their lips are moving. So yes, what's going to happen to these people once the lid comes off? It's going to be an interesting thing to see. I mean, will Mick West have to concentrate on, you know, maybe he'll do like, you know, talk about the Patterson-Gimlin footage from 1967. You know, try to debunk that. Try to, you know, say that was some guy in a suit. Maybe that's what his next, you know, talk about that every week. That will be his game plan. That's what I mean. Thunderful. He'll just have to, you know, all those videos he made about UFOs, they'll just disappear off YouTube, and he'll just start talking about something else. It's going to be interesting, you know. I mean, in fact, these guys might, as part of their grift, they might, you know, there's some people that even they can't even believe it. I mean, even though they see the evidence of something, they still don't believe it. So when the evidence does come out, the indisputable, irrefutable evidence is revealed, and there's nothing anybody can do. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I mean, he's like, I don't, but I mean, that's what you're gonna get. That's what you're going to get. It's going to be really fun, actually. It's going to be fun to watch these people. Because I know it's real. I know it's real for a fact. You know, they could sit there in their armchairs and talk all they want, but they have no clue. I mean, a lot of idiotic statements come from these folks. Lots of idiotic statements. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting, you know. When the truth comes out, when the indisputable truth comes out. As far as I'm concerned, right, I know I've seen one of these things, and there's been enough things that happened throughout the years that, you know, there's been other people that have seen them. There's been alien abduction cases. I mean, they happened. You know, Travis Walton, Betty and Barney Hill. We have to go through it all again here. You know, these people weren't lying. They're telling you the truth. They were telling the truth. They've always told the truth. But yeah, these people, there's been debunkers all throughout the years. I mean, I remember that one, what was that? Philip Glass. Philip Glass, wow, what a character that guy was. He's now departed. But yeah, that guy's, you know, some aviation writer for some magazine. You know, that's all he did was debunk. I mean, this guy was terrible. Terrible. They'd have him on Larry King Live and CNN back in the 90s, you know, debating Stanton Friedman, you know, who's also passed on. Stanton Friedman, of course, the great ufologist / nuclear physicist, who basically spent his life studying UFOs. Stanton knew the truth. He knew what was going on. Stanton was one of the smartest ufologists I've ever seen. I talked to him a couple of times on the phone for interviews that I did for newspaper articles. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. These debunkers, bunch of clowns just out there. You know, in a way, you have to admire like someone like Thunderfoot. It should be Thunder. Might as well be Thunderfool though. But we'll call him Thunder. Well, I guess it's Thunderfoot, whatever. You know, he's some other. You know, it's going to be interesting. I guess you got to admire. You know, he did get a lot of people. Like he has like 1 million people following him on YouTube. You know, that's great. You know, that means there's like 1 million people out there that they want to be told. You know, they need this authoritative voice telling them that, you know, this isn't real. Don't worry about it. Just go to bed. There is no such things as aliens coming to this planet. They need that. You know, they need to be told that Pentagon footage is all nonsense. You know, so he makes these ridiculous videos, and they fall for it. You know, hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because it's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. So there's going to be something that happens. That's whether the government, federal government, comes out and says something, and you know, finally, you know, blows the lid off it and says, "Yeah, we've been lying. Sorry," you know, or whatever they do. However they do it, it's either going to be that, or there's going to be something that happens someday that's, you know, they won't be able to. They won't be able to denounce it. They won't be able to debunk it because it's going to be. It's like saying, you know, it would be like saying, well, the ocean doesn't really. The Atlantic Ocean's really not there. That would be the same thing as that. They look like complete idiots. They'll just have to find. They'll have to come up with a new grift. You know, a new way to, you know, make people, you know, to lie to people, make them believe in something that's not true, because that's what they're doing basically. They're trying to make people believing. They're telling people a lie. They're trying to make people believe in a lie. That's what they're doing. So they're gonna have to figure out something else once the lid comes off. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna see. I can't wait to see how they squirm. It's gonna be, you know, that's what I'm interested in. Again, I think someone like DeGrasse Tyson. I think he's gonna, you know, I think he's gonna stand up and, you know, yeah, I was wrong. I think that's what you're gonna get from him. I could be wrong about that. He might squirm too, like the other ones, you know. But he's more. He has, you know, he's really not a professional when it comes to UFOs. He doesn't know what's going. He's never read a book on it. I don't even know why they go to him all the time. But he doesn't mind them going to him because he's always selling a book. So yeah. Put me on TV. I'll say I don't believe in UFOs. It's all fake. It could be something else. Maybe it's you. He'll throw in a maybe every now and then, but for the most part, he tries to debunk it. But really, it's all about selling a book. You know, that's what it is. I mean, let's be truthful with each other here. Yeah, and these other people, again, it's about, you know, getting followers and you know, Patreons or whatever, you know, fame. Yeah, and, you know, they think they're smart. They're not. They're smart in how they're grifting, but they have no idea. See, again, I know because I've seen one of these things. I can't, you know, I just know. I've seen one of these things, and I've had some other things that happen too, right? But I've seen one of the craft, right, up close and personal. I've seen one of them operating up close, you know, within 10 feet of me. But these guys, you know, it's going to be funny. Oh, boy. I just hope I'm around when it happens. I hope. I just can't wait to see what their excuses are. It's going to be funny. It'll be amusing, actually. It's going to be amusing. They should start thinking them up right now. Maybe they already have. Maybe they already figured out what they're going to say. Because I don't think they really believe what they say. I think they're just like, again, they're making a living doing this. They don't really believe. You know, I don't give a crap what anybody thinks of me, or, you know, I'm just telling you the truth. There's aliens out there from other planets. There's beings that are coming here that are more advanced than humans. They're here. I know it. Anyhow. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Can't wait.